so I'm hoping that this is a better angle than from my reading wrap-up. But anyway, hi! So something I realised that I'm pretty bad at doing at the start of these videos is actually introducing myself. So, hi, my name is Milo, welcome to my channel. And I figured, I wanted to do something that I saw Sarah Caroli do. I'll link her channel and in the description, which is where your name picks the books you read, which basically you get a book that starts with each letter of your name and you read it. I will link her blog down below. So I went through all of my bookcases and I put all of the books to a random wheel generator. I hope you can see that. I honestly can't tell, because I'm really indecisive and I wouldn't be able to pick one specific book at all. So I thought, be that. Let's spin for the first book, which is M, so Milo. Moon Dust in Search of the Men Who Fell to Earth, which is over here. This is a non-fiction book, which I got on the way to York Comic-Con. We passed a house and they were giving this out for free, so free book. I was thinking the way I was going to do this, that if I DNF it, I will spin the wheel again. But the back reads, the Apollo Moon program has been called the last optimistic act of the 20th century. Over this strange 3-year period between 1969 and 1972, 12 men changed the longest and most eccentric of all journeys, and all were indelibly marked by it. Of those astronauts who walked on the moon, only 9 are still alive as of publishing, which was when was this published? 2005. So as of 2005, only 9 were still alive. I don't know how many are alive today. One day in the near future, there will be none. No one on Earth will have known the giddy thrill of gazing back at us from another world. In Moon Dust, Andrew Smith sets out to find and interview the remaining moonwalkers in order to learn how their lives and ours were changed by this surreal adventure forever. Ooh, there's an index. I guess it is a non-fiction book. There are 358 pages, not including like acknowledges and index and all that. And there are 9 chapters, plus a prologue and an epilogue. There's also a preface, but I don't know if I'll read that. So this is the book I'll be reading. Unless I DNF it, then I'll spin again. Anyway, I'll see you in a second when I have thoughts and feelings for this. Okay, so she just started, it's like chapter 1. I've just finished the foreword and then prologue, but they're just talking about a random kid named David, even, and for some reason brings up his penis size. Like, this is a book about people who went to the moon. Why are they talking about a random kid named David? I presume he's a kid, I don't know. I'm confused. I think it's supposed to be Andrew's point of view, the author, and I'm presuming he's talking about his friend David. Why did he need to bring up his friend's penis size? That's just weird, isn't it? Okay, so I finished the first chapter. Yes, I have changed into my pajamas, but more importantly, finished the first chapter. And the formatting is not what I expected it to be. But then again, I haven't read actually that many non-fiction novels, so it might be normal. But it's more but story adjacent. No, that's the right anecdotal. No, but it's like more like a story, which I guess is a good thing for me since I mainly read fiction, but it's not really what I expected, I suppose. But on the plus side, the writing's easy to read, so that's good. That's basically it, but can we just appreciate the pajama top, nightie top. Yeah, it says, I don't do mornings. Shout out to my mum, who knows me incredibly well and got me this. Another thing that I like is that there's these little drawings in the thing, and each chapter has like a little rock on it, and I just think that's cute. Okay, so it is the next day, and I've finished chapter 2 on chapter 3, and this book isn't what I thought it would be, because on the back, when it said that he set out to find and interview the remaining moon markers, I thought it would be more interviews, to put it bluntly, but there is sections of the part from when they talk to each other. It's not like an interview, which I thought it would be, so that's slightly disappointing. I've only done like one interview at this point, and the next one's about Buzz Aldrin, so that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, not what I thought it would be. Still interesting, but it's not like anything I usually read, which is what my mum pointed out when I told her what I was reading yesterday. Also, something I didn't realise until I was uploading the footage, it didn't show off the pyjama nicely properly, so here's what it says. I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but I thought that this book would just focus on the moon missions and nothing else. Well, I mean, it would interview the people who went to the moon and like how they experienced the moon, but it also includes a lot of the astronauts' personal lives and like what led up to the mission and like how they dealt with it and the ensuing stuff, and it's really interesting to see what happened afterwards. Sometimes it's really hopeful or sad and just not what you expect, I suppose, from astronauts, even though it's been a very long time since like the space race and stuff. You don't expect them to end up in the situations they end up in. Like, one of them's hanging around Star Trek convention, the other one's running a pseudo-science or something like that thing. I haven't finished chapter 3 just yet, but reading about how everything affected Buzz Aldrin, it was a lot different than I thought it was. But I had very limited knowledge of the space race and Buzz Aldrin. The most I know about him is that he's who Buzz Lightyear's named after. It's weird to think about. I mean, it's an interesting read, very different from what I usually read. I'm glad I picked this up. I know I would have read it eventually, but it would have taken a while. Hi! You gonna move? Or are you just gonna pin me here for the rest of the time? Okay, so first off, it's the next day. Hi. And I just wanted to say that this book occasionally will have like little anecdotes about like the author's like life or something, and honestly it doesn't really make a lot of sense and it doesn't really contribute to it, and it's honestly rather boring, so I don't know why he included them. Yeah, well, that's it. Okay, something I forgot to say, and yes, I put a hoodie on, it's cold, was that apparently the whole Buzz in Toy Story named after Buzz Aldrin, apparently Buzz Aldrin tried to sue Disney about that and lost, which, okay, tried to sue Disney, which is interesting, and sorry, which is interesting and weird, well, not weird. Apparently at some point an astronaut was the ambassador to Norway, which is interesting. I feel like you should be made aware that I just read the phrase, among the alpha male scions. God, yeah, it's the next day again. Okay, so he's put, I find myself wondering whether the most powerful part of the journey for being one of the astronauts might have been the relationship forming between these two other men. Smith's basically saying the real adventure was the friends we made along the way. So, next day again. But starting chapter 7, and it opens with Apollo was the Greek god of sun, music, and poetry, and a few other things. The twin of Artemis, goddess of the moon. That's not true. From whom the Romans derived their own moon goddess Diana. Indeed, one classic goes beyond this to suggest that the moon had a sophisticated threefold identity for the Greeks and Romans. That she was respectively Selene, Luna, Oh no, when in the sky, Artemis says Diana on Earth and Hecate in the underworld. Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft. Like, Selene and Artemis get confused a lot because Artemis and Apollo are siblings, and Apollo is the Roman god of the sun, but he's the Greek god of light. The Greek god of the sun is Helios, and his sister is Selene, who is the Greek goddess of the moon. Selene and Helios were titans, not gods. They betrayed the thing, and that's why they exist, right? Okay? Like, Apollo is only the god of the sun when he's in the Roman god of the thing, because, like, the Romans copied a lot of their gods from Greek, right? It's like that meme, like, I'm gonna change my homework thing, and edit it, like, you know what I mean. But, ow. I'm just like, I don't know, this is a book about the moon, so it doesn't necessarily matter, because it's about the moon and the people who walked on the moon and their families and lives and stuff, but why would you bring in Hecate? Of all goddesses, like, she's the Greek goddess of witchcraft, right? One of a virgin deity, like, beyond the main three being Athena, Artemis, and Hestia. But she's also, like, the pagan goddess of witchcraft. She shows up in Shakespeare. Macbeth, if you want to know. I guess that's a spoiler, but it's been out for hundreds of years. Oh, apparently Hecate's Roman equivalent is called trivia. Have fun. And the whole reason we associate Artemis with the moon is because the Romans' equivalent to Artemis is Diana, who is the goddess of the moon. And because she's a sibling of Apollo, it's presumed that, and since Apollo is the Roman god of the sun, Artemis must be the Roman goddess of the moon, but she's not. And, wait, hold on, isn't Diana the Roman equivalent to Athena? Oh, wait, no, that's, what's... Minerva's the thing, ignore that. This has to be one of the stupidest things I've ever read. And I know it has nothing to do with the rest of the book. But, my god, did that piss me off. Sorry. Final chapter. Ooh, I'm like 42, 43 pages till the end. Also, Cat says hi. Okay, so I have just finished Moondust, In Search of the Men Who Fell to Earth by Andrew Smith, and I have decided to rate it 3 stars. It was very interesting, and I did learn a lot about the Apollo program that I don't think I would have learned otherwise, more than any before, but ultimately there were times where I was bored throughout, like, personal anecdotes that didn't really make a lot of sense, and honestly I can't see myself rereading again, so I'll definitely be unhauling this as well. I'm sure hi Daisy, cat, I'm sure a Apollo fanatic will greatly appreciate this more than I can. But anyway, more pressingly, now we can go on to our iBook. I'm not gonna lie, slightly scared about this wheel, mainly because I can't tell if you can see, but it has It on there, like It by Stephen King. So I am slightly worried to get that, though it would be appropriate. It is October. You're gonna jump? Yep. Hi. It's not helpful. Daisy. I'm filming. What was I saying? I don't remember. Even though it would be appropriate because it is October, so spooky. It is also like over 1,000 pages, so very cute, but you're not helpful. I'm just gonna spin it now while she stood off to the side. No, Daisy. Inside the Mind of John Wayne Gacy. Okay, also appropriate in spooky season, which is down there. Now you jump. Yep, a real life clown killer. Joy! Yeah. So this is a book about the serial killer John Wayne Gacy, who dressed up as a clown and killed children. Often said to be the inspiration for Stephen King's Evil, Pennywise and It. Oh, I was just talking about that earlier. John Wayne Gacy was the original real-life killer clown. Gacy would lure victims to his home with the promise of work or a warm bed, would then dupe them into putting on handcuffs to show them a trick. But instead he would, I don't think I can say that on YouTube, and torture them for hours before killing them. He buried 26 victims in the crawl space beneath his home. When that was full, he disposed of some bodies in the Des Plaines River. Gacy was executed in 1994, but at least 5 of his victims remain unidentified, and the detectives have always suspected that there were many more. Did Gacy act alone? Was it his alcoholic, abusive father who drove him to murder, or was it something deep inside him? And who was the other Gacy who regularly performed at children's hospitals as Pogo or Patches the Clown, the player in local Democratic Party circles? So there are 20 chapters plus a prelude. What is a prelude? I don't know. I'll probably read it. And this is just over 200 pages. Yeah, 224. So this will be relatively a short read, and again, appropriate for spooky season. I'm gonna say, in my family, it seems that we have like a family interest in true crime. I don't think I'll be DNFing this, because again, interesting true crime, but I'm so sorry for the things you're about to see. Pray for the foxes, pray for the foxes. I'm hoping this will be more interesting at the very least than the space one was for me. I'm sure other people again would love the one about the moonwalkers, but I wasn't that interested in it. Talking about his victims, which I suppose was, I guess, respectful and nice to them and their families. I mean, not all of them, 3 of them, but one of the things I kept repeating was, let me find it. I kept referring to Gacy as an alpha predator, which I know is probably supposed to be like an intimidation thing, but it's really taking me out of it. And another thing he said referred to the lethal injection as the needle to oblivion, which I guess, yeah, could be referred to that. It's kind of funny. Oh, I changed. I'm in pajamas and I showered. That's why I look different. You're telling me that Kentucky Fried Chicken has a university in Louisville, and John Wayne Gacy went to it. Why does Kentucky Fried Chicken have a university? Shocking absolutely no one. The police are being inadequate. For some reason, there's like little snippets of other like serial killers and stuff that was happening around like the same time as John Wayne Gacy in this, and like what they're doing, what they killed, how many they killed, how they do it, when they were caught and stuff like that. And it'll sometimes have like descriptions of their killings, and like it's all gross, disgusting and horrible. You know, generally I knew what I was getting into reading a book about a serial killer, R-word, and then include other things as well that I wasn't expecting. I was not ready for that, and I guess the whole reason that we have books like this is because we want to understand why people would do these things and why they'd want to hurt people. Sometimes there's no reason. Sometimes people just like to hurt others. Sometimes it's power. Sometimes they see others as lesser than them. Sometimes it's just for the thrill and the pleasure. Humanity can be real shit sometimes. Hi. So I've finished. Sorry there wasn't that many I guess footage of the reading vlog. I didn't have that many thoughts about it, I guess. I will be rating this 3 stars. I won't say I enjoyed it because it is a book documenting, you know, the serial killer's life and stuff. But it was very, I guess, informative. Yeah. Anyway, on to our 3rd book, which is the L book. Lord of the Flies, which is here. All of the books so far have just been on this bookshelf. I have other bookshelves, I swear, but I guess this is going to also turn into a bucket list reading vlog as well. There are 12 chapters and 223 pages. I know that this is a classic and a lot of people read this for school, and I think I know the basic plot, but yeah, sorry if I'm low energy. Shockingly, reading about a serial killer doesn't get you in a great mood, so I'm kinda meh right now. These chapters are very long as well. Oh, it's for the mother and father. One of the things that I don't like about classics is that they don't put like a proper blurb on the back. They just put like a thing about the author and like what someone says about it, because everyone assumes that they know what it's about. I mean, I hope there's an audiobook for this. Try and find one. And they've got chapter title names, always nice. I just wanted to point out that this book used to be a library book. I didn't see it was withdrawn. And it's just, I find it really interesting to see when this book was taken out, and see the last time it was taken out was in 2018, which is actually quite a while ago, and the first time it was taken out has been in the 90s, which I find very interesting. And it looks like this was published in 1958, so this book probably belonged to someone else before it belonged to the library as well, which is interesting. Okay, so there is like zero preamble, we're just immediately into the setting, which is that a group of boys has crash landed on an island somewhere, and there's no adults, and they've got to survive. That's basically it for the beginning of it, but it's certainly easy to read, which is good. Just gotta say that I feel really bad for Piggy. I mean, he's not necessarily likable, but how mean the other boys are to him doesn't seem fair, like, at all. It's also just blatant, like, fat shaming as well. Also, they keep mentioning a plant called Creeper, and every time they do, I just picture a Minecraft creeper. I would like to read a quote. It is, "The greatest ideas are the simplest." I don't know if that's particularly profound, but I really liked it, so I wanted to read it. Okay, so I just got why the book is called The Lord of the Flies. They said the name of the book in it, and obviously not what I was expecting. I don't really know what I was expecting. Final chapter! Woo! I realised I didn't do this for the Inside the Mind of John Wayne Gacy. I was very tired, and I just wanted the book to be over, so that's why I didn't do that. Hi! Over here now. Because I've just finished Lord of the Flies by William Golding, and it ended as abruptly as it started. Like, obviously this is a book bucket list book, so I thought I'd come over here for the next bit. I'm rating this 3 stars because I have no real feelings for it. It was graphic, but I suppose that's to be expected. Different than what I usually read. I liked this more than I liked The Secret History, but I think I probably like a lot of things more than I like The Secret History. If you want to know why I don't like The Secret History, watch my reading vlog for it. It is a spoiler reading vlog, so obviously if you haven't read it and don't want to be spoiled, don't watch it, but if you don't care about spoilers or you've already read it, go ahead. This was the 3rd book of the video, the L book. We have one more book to go, which is the O book, and we'll get to that in a second once we rub this off. And the favourite game, let's see if the picture matches. And it's a ball, which makes sense, having read the book. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, I don't remember, even if it was like a minute ago, but I will be unhauling a lot of the flyers. But anyway, so, book. Fourth book, final book for the vlog. I'll be completely honest with you. Because I've read so many books, so like, outside of the usual genre that I read, which is mainly queer romance with like a bit of fantasy and stuff, I think I'm entering a little bit of a reading slump. I'm a bit tired all the time. Also, I only have 3 books, and 2 of them are non-fiction. I say 3 books. It is the one of the books I've counted as an book is 127 hours. Is obviously the number 127, but 100 starts with an O, so it counts. But I won't lie, I am hoping for the romance book, which is the other book on here, but I've committed to this now, so I'm gonna spin the wheel. Ah, 127 hours. Again, all of the books in this video have been on that same bookshelf. Joy! I'll go get it. 127 hours. Woo. This reading vlog is mostly just 3 non-fiction books. Okay, so the blurb reads, hiking into the remote Utah Canyonlands, Aaron Ralston felt perfectly at home in the beauty of the natural world. Then at 2:41 p.m, 8 miles from his truck and in a deep and narrow slot canyon, an 800-pound boulder tumbled loose, pinning Aaron's right hand and wrist against the canyon wall. Through 6 days of hell, with scant water, food, or warm clothes, and the terrible knowledge that no one knew where he was, Aaron eliminated his escape options one by one. Then a moment of stark clarity helped him to solve the riddle of the boulder and commit one of the most extreme and desperate acts imaginable. Aaron Ralston lives in Colorado. Since his accident, he has gone on to climb the 59 Colorado peaks and more than 40,000 feet alone in winter. This is the first book originally published as Between a Rock and a Hard Place, and now filmed as 127 hours. 2004. All of these books were published a while ago. Fun. Ooh, there's a map. Well, it's Utah and the Horseshoe Canyon District. That's fun, I guess. What does it say? Oh, the text is big. There's a prologue. Okay, is there an index page? Or like a chapter thing? Oh, it starts from an extract of the Homer's Odyssey. Random, but okay. Okay, so there's 342 pages. Oh, there's an epilogue. Don't be stupidly long, please. Don't be stupidly long, please. Oh, why did I get the ones with stupid little long chapters? A part of me thinks that I'm going to end up DNFing this. I don't want to end up DNFing this. There's 15 chapters, and they're all going to be very long by the looks of it. Oh, the first chapter is 16 pages, okay. So the second chapter is 12 pages. Is this going to be broken up? Oh, it's got images and stuff. Yeah, this is the next book I'll be reading. Yes, I read the prologue and I changed, but I read the prologue and it was basically explaining like the name of the canyon and it's to do with outlaws, and it was like 2 pages. But now I really want to read a book about outlaws. So if you have any like history books or fictional books that are about outlaws, please recommend them below. I want to read them now. Okay, so 2 things. First off, I think this book's giving me headaches, so that's not good. Second off, the chapters interlace with like, every 2 chapters. He'll go into like details about like how he got into like climbing and stuff, and like has nothing to do with like the accident and how he got his arm trapped. Interesting, but very long. Like, they feel like they should be multiple chapters and not like 1 chapter. And so it feels like this book would be a lot shorter if it was focusing on just his experience with this, with getting his arm trapped and stuff. But I guess I'm okay with that he's included other stuff, because I think I'd probably be a little bored if he just included the how he got his arm trapped. Something he does a lot is mention people's names, like real life people, and like sure, some of them it's his friends and like that, but like one of the names was like his college girlfriend, and I'm just thinking, is he still in contact with all of these people? Is he allowed to talk about these people? Because I don't think he needed to say his ex-girlfriend's name. Like, you can still stay friends with your ex, but I doubt that there was any reason to even include her name at all. Yeah, so I guess that's a little weird. Something that annoys me about, like, these kind of pictures in books is that they always put them in like, the middle of sentences, which is always, like, so annoying. Just gotta say that the pictures in that section in chapter 9 spoil the ending of the book. I mean, it was a real life event, so it really happens. Spoils the real life event. Like, I already knew it was gonna happen because Deadpool spoiled it for me, but if you want to read the book without spoilers, come back to the pictures at the end, which is where they probably should have been. I've been pinned by the other one. And he's got the camera thing. Can't have that, Loki. Ugh, your breath stinks. I was in the middle of reading, right? And, then I hear a knock at the door, so I go downstairs. Do you know who's at the door? Jehovah's Witnesses. I shouldn't laugh, but I keep laughing. Oh my god. They gave me a pamphlet, and they asked, have you ever been on the internet? And it's just, oh, because there's, and I said yes, obviously, because obviously there's a very interesting website. Oh my god. Sorry, that's not necessarily like relevant to anything. I just thought it was funny, and I feel like I need to tell someone because my dad's here, but he's asleep. So, but about the book, I think I'm on like the chapter before the last day. So I'm on like chapter 11, 12. I'm on chapter 12, and they're no longer doing like explaining how he got into the situation because he ran out of things. So now the chapters are interspersed with what the people in his life are doing, like once they realise that he's missing. So that's interesting, I suppose. Oh, sorry. Oh god, I can't believe Jehovah's Witnesses. Ah. A slight spoiler warning, but if you don't like gore, don't read this book. It gets very graphic in chapter 13. Final chapter. Woo! Thing I failed to mention is that Aaron's got like a really good like support and like friendship circle, which is good, especially considering the situation he ended up in. It's nice to read about how much he cares about his friends and how much his friends care about him. Epilogue. Woo! Alright, so I have finished 127 hours. Not gonna lie, I skimmed through the epilogue because I was tired and I just wanted to finish. I will be rating this 3 stars, mainly because majority of the time I was very bored, to put it bluntly. I guess I was interested in like how we got interested in climbing, but the chapters felt too long. And while I did think the reunion between him and his mum was kind of sweet, it didn't really feel like there was a payoff because again, the chapters felt so long, so it didn't really feel like but it didn't feel like I got to know him that much. Also, the pictures. If you want to read this, look at the pictures at the end. Despite it being in, like, what is it, chapter 9, look at the pictures at the end because it will spoil the ending. But anyway, with that, this brings this reading vlog to a close. Just as a recap, I read Moondust by In Search of the Men Who Fell from Earth by Andrew Smith, specifically the 40th anniversary edition of the moon landing. Inside the Mine of John Wayne Gacy by Brad Hunter. Lord of the Flies by William Golding. And obviously 127 Hours Between a Rock and a Hard Place by Aaron Walshaw. 3 non-fiction books and 1 classic, and I rated all of them 3 stars. And I will be unhauling 3 of them. So, you know. Besides, obviously, all the books not being that invigorating, I suppose, for me, and obviously I'm getting rid of 3 of them. But I did enjoy this format of doing it. I would do it again, probably not anytime soon, but probably sometime when I am like approaching the O books, since I obviously do only have 2 O books. So I will probably do this again at some point. Don't know when, but anyway, please like and subscribe, comment, and if you want to, I have a Vinted, so if you're in the UK, please check it out. I will try and link it in the description, but YouTube's weird about links outside of things, at least for me, so I haven't figured out how to link things properly outside of YouTube yet, but at the very least, it's called Zinnia Books, so if you want to check it out, please do. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've made it through all of this, I know it's very least over half an hour, and yeah, bye!